Psalm TV, the pulse of the nation. Psalm TV, the pulse of the nation. Psalm TV, the pulse of the nation.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride, your way.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Good evening, viewers. You're welcome to News at 9 p.m. on Psalm TV. Your undisputed source for truth, clarity, and the stories that shape our world. This is the pulse of the nation. Follow us on Facebook at Psalm TV and catch our live stream on YouTube at Psalm TV Live. Stay informed, stay empowered. On the news tonight, Nigerian Governors Forum to launch Investopedia August 19 to be a state investment. Tinubu approved 16.7 billion naira for urgent reconstruction of flood-destroyed Makwa Bridge. Rivers Electoral.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Good evening, viewers. You're welcome to news at 9 p.m. on Psalm TV. Your undisputed source for truth, clarity, and the stories that shape our world. This is the pulse of the nation. Follow us on Facebook at Psalm TV and catch our live stream on YouTube at Psalm TV Live. Stay informed, stay empowered. Now let's bring you tonight's top headline. Nigerian Governors Forum to launch Investopedia August 19 to boost state investment. Tinubu approved 16.7 billion naira for urgent reconstruction of flood-destroyed Marco Bridge. Rivers Electoral Commission recognizes Okocha-led APC faction ahead of August 30th polls. International news. Trump hosts Putin in Alaska for first U.S. visit since Ukraine invasion. No breakthrough reached. Business news. Lagos Complex gets 250 kWh solar PV system in Adna System Metro Partnership. Entertainment news. Veteran Nollywood actor Chief Kamran dies at 70. AFN names 26 athletes for CAA region and 2 championships in Accra. Urges team to defend titles. Sport news. AFN names 26 athletes for CAA region championship in Accra. Urges team to defend title. I'm Bridget James, and now the news in full. The Nigerian Governors Forum will launch Investopedia on August 19 in Abuja to boost investment across the country's 36 states. The platform, a biennial print and digital publication, will showcase priority projects, sector insight, and incentive to attract global capital. Governors will present projects and sign MOUs to establish the NGF fund, with participation from investors, ambassadors, and institutions such as Afrex Inbank, UNDP, and the Central Bank of Nigeria. Copies will be distributed to finance institutions, embassies, and private investors. The initiative aims to address low investor confidence, improve project visibility, and create a unified entry point for global investments. President Bola Tinubu has approved the release of 16.7 billion naira for the urgent reconstruction of the Mokwa Bridge in Niger State, which was destroyed by flooding in May. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, announced the decision after a meeting with Works Minister Dave Umahi, noting that the approval underscores the administration's responsiveness to infrastructure emergencies. Idris said the 10-span bridge is vital for regional connectivity and praised Umahi for swiftly deploying experts to assess the damage. Umahi described Tinubu as a compassionate leader committed to addressing infrastructure challenges, highlighting additional approval for bridges and roads in Taraba, Kogi, Ebonyi, Kwara, Edo, and Kebbi State as part of a broader national development strategy. The Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission has confirmed it will only recognize candidates presented by the Chief Tony Okocha-led All Progressive Congress for the August 30th local government election. RSIC's Chidi Halide explained that although the commission received lists from both Okocha and Emeka Beke function, the Beke-led submission fell outside the approved timeline and was accepted by only for record purposes. The Beke faction, however, insisted its list was valid and threatened legal action if excluded. The dispute stemmed from a court ruling reinstating Beke's leadership, previously dissolved by the APC National Working Committee. RSIEC pledged credible polls with INEC support. ABGA candidate for Onitsha North Constituency 1, Ifoma Ezekiwe, has pressed the Independent National Electoral Commission for the smooth conduct of Saturday's by-election. Speaking after casting her vote in Onitsha, she described the process as fair, with early arrival of materials, orderly accreditation, and no incidents of violence reported. She noted that only a few unverified complaints were raised, mainly by prospective voters preparing for the November governorship election, stressing that no one was disenfranchised. The by-election was held to fill the vacant Anambra State House of Assembly seat following the kidnap and killing of former lawmaker Justice Azuka. The chairman of the Kaduna State Internal Revenue Service, Jerry Adams, has said Governor Uba Sani's peace and inclusiveness model is boosting the All Progressive Congress acceptance in the Chikung Kajuru House of Representatives by-election. Speaking during the supplementary poll, Adams noted that the governor's leadership had restored public confidence and positioned the APC for victory, adding that his peace framework is now being studied nationwide. He also highlighted reforms to modernize Kaduna's tax laws aimed at strengthening internally generated revenue to fund key sectors. Adam praised investments in rural infrastructure and agriculture, stressing that public trust in the APC government is growing. Joseph Bagudu, the All Progressive Congress candidate for the Kaduna Chikum Kajuru Federal Constituency by-election, praised voters for what he described as massive turnout during Saturday's supplementary polls. After casting his ballot at polling units 003 in Kajuru local government area, Bagudu said the exercise was peaceful and orderly. The election, organized by the Independent National Electoral Commission, was held to replace Labour Party lawmaker Ekene Adams, who died in July 2024. Bagudu expressed confidence that the turnout reflected voter trust in the APC and the leadership of Governor Uba Sani, predicting the party's continued dominance into the 2027 general election. He urged residents to remain peaceful and law-abiding to ensure smooth electoral process. The Edo State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has commended the peaceful conduct of the Central Senatorial District by-election held on Saturday. Commandant Gbega Ogun, who monitored polling units across Esan Southwest, Esan Central, Esan Northeast, and Esan Southeast, said the Corps worked with other security agencies to maintain law and order. He noted that strategic deployment of personnel ensure a smooth exercise, with voters casting ballots without fear, dispute, and modest turnout. Ogun assured the public of continued protection of voters and election materials, stressing that security measures were fully in place throughout the process. All Progressive Congress candidates Adewale Olatunji expressed disappointment over low voter turnout during the Ibadan North Federal Constituency by-election, describing the apathy as discouraging despite simplified voting procedures. He urged residents to participate before polls close. At the same polling unit, People's Democratic Party candidate Folajimi Oyekunle
commended the exercise as peaceful. Report from other areas showed mixed turnout with strong participation recorded at Ibadina in the University of Ibadan and at Ward 4, Unit 12 near NTA Ibadan. Some voters, however, complained about polling unit changes by INEC without prior notice. The Adamawa State by-election in Ganye constituency witnessed a large voters' turnout on Saturday, with polling units filled as voting began at 8:15 a.m. under heavy security presence. The exercise was peaceful, with military personnel managing traffic in the local headquarters. Ganye local government chairman Farouk Mohammed expressed confidence in a People's Democratic Party victory, accusing the All Progressive Congress of engaging in vote buying. In response, APC State Organizing Secretary Mustafa Ribadu denied the claims, counter-accusing the PDP of the same practice while assuring supporters of his party's chances. He also commended the Independent National Electoral Commission for starting the process unscheduled. The People's Democratic Party in Ogun State has condemned the arrest of its chairman, Obayomi Tella, during the ongoing by-election, describing it as intimidation aimed at giving the All Progressive Congress an advantage. The party accused the police and departments of state service of complicity, alleging harassment of opposition members, while violence and voters' intimidation spread across Sangamo, Remo North, and Ekene. In a same statement, the PDP demanded Tella's release and called for an investigation into the role of security agencies, accusing Governor Dapo Abiodun's administration of enabling electoral violence. It urged Nigerians and the international community to take note, vowing to resist any attempt to suppress its mandate. Responding, the governor's special advisor on information, Kayode Akimade, dismissed the allegations as false, insisting Tella as some INEC officials were arrested for attempting to avert the electoral process. The All Progressive Congress has called on Independent National Electoral Commission to cancel the Shanono Bangwai constituency by-election and the Gari constituency rerun in Kano State, citing widespread violence and disruption. In a statement signed by its National Publicity Secretary, Felix Moka, the party alleged that armed thugs attacked polling units, forcing voters to flee while security personnel were overwhelmed. It warned that proceedings with the exercise will legitimize electoral violence and compromise democratic integrity. The APC urged INEC to annul the poll immediately to safeguard the sanctity of the ballot and protect Nigerians' democracy. The People's Democratic Party has warned against any attempt to manipulate the Babura Garka federal constituency by-election in Jigawa State. The party's publicity secretary, Umar Kyari, says the PDP supporters are vigilant and ready to resist any form of electoral malpractice. He urged the Independent National Electoral Commission to ensure a transparent process and called on security agencies to protect voters from intimidation. Kyari appealed for calm among supporters while defending their votes, stressing that fairness and justice must prevail. He expressed confidence in the party's popularity and grassroots support, insisting that any attempt to subvert the will of the people will be resisted. Voting began on Saturday in the Anambra South Senatorial District by-election, with material arriving early at polling units in Agwata and other local government areas, but turnouts remain low. The election, covering 7 local government areas, is to fill the seat left vacant by the death of Senator Ifeanyi Ubah in 2024. at Igbo Ukwa polling units. Dominic Okafor, representing Agwata Federal Constituency, urged residents to come out, stressing that the district had been without representation for almost a year. Elderly voters such as 80-year-old Madame Victoria Okeke expressed satisfaction with the smooth accreditation and voting process despite the thin crowd. INEC officials confirmed that all BVAS machines functioned well and security was in place, with voters conducting themselves orderly. Observers, however, noted that the low turnout could impact the strength of representation from the pool. Anambra State Labour Party caucus in the National Assembly has expressed grave reservation over alleged moves by the state governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, to deploy non-state security personnel and touts in Saturday's by-election in the state. The elections are for the Onitsha North and State Assembly seats and the Anambra South Senatorial Zone. The National Bureau of Statistics on Friday said headline inflation declined to 21.88% in July 2025 from the 22.22% recorded in June 2025. The crash, according to the statistician of the Federal Prince Adeyemi Aderinang, it was because of lowered cost of food, transportation, and other variables. The federal government will soon commence disbursements of interest-free loans to smallholders, farmers, and business across the country before the end of 2025. The National Program Manager of the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, Hamza Ibrahim Baba, has said. Baba made this known on Friday in Kaduna during an engagement with representatives of the Trade Association and other stakeholders in the state's informal business sector. The Ijaw National Congress has urged Niger Delta host communities to support Pipelines Infrastructure Nigeria Limited, responsible for securing the Eastern Corridor and Trans-Niger pipelines. At the Yanagwa stakeholders meeting, ING President Professor Benjamin Okaba pressed PINL for a zero infraction record and urged youth to embrace livelihood opportunities. Bayelsa Police highlighted drones surveillance for security, while lawmakers Tari Pori linked PINL's operations to the Ijaw struggle. Former legislator Ingo Owowari stressed women's empowerment in curbing vandalism. PINL's Dr. Akpos Miza credited community collaboration for improved security, adding that their effort helped Nigeria meet its 2025 oil revenue benchmark. The Lagos State Police commanders boosted a trans-border child trafficking syndicate responsible for recruiting and transporting young girls to Ghana for prostitution. The State Police Public Relations Officer, Benjamin Hudayin, he said in a statement on Friday that police detective rescued 11 victims and arrested 4 suspects in the process. Angry youths in Ayede, Agbese in Akure North local government area of Ondo State have protested the incessant kidnapping in the community by suspected gunmen. This is coming barely 24 hours after suspected gunmen killed a businessman, Okudili Okoro, and abducted a businesswoman, Mrs. Orogun, in the community. Public interest lawyer Oyodele Ademili has dragged the federal government, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, and several other parties before the Federal High Court, Lagos, demanding 500 billion naira in damage over what he described as blatant breach of the rule of law in handling 2 aviation infractions involving popular musician King Wasiu Ayinde Marshall and passenger Miss Comfort Emanson. British Airways on Friday denied 58 passengers boarding on its Abuja-London flight following a faulty door. For safety reasons, the airline had to keep some seats unoccupied, as confirmed by the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority. A fire outbreak was on Friday night reported at the popular Ibadan radio station, Fresh FM, at Felele areas in Ibadan South-West local government area of the Oyo State capital. The incident has disrupted other related activities at the station. And the federal government of Nigeria has rejected the designations of some Nigerian political parties as terrorist organizations by a Canadian federal court, saying the ruling was reckless and unacceptable. In a statement signed by the spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kimiebi Imotobi, the decision stemmed from a case involving the Nigerian national, Mr. Douglas Igbeba, who arrived in Canada in September 2017 and applied for inland refuge status under the Immigration and Refuge Protection Act of Canada. We are stepping away for a brief break, but stay right here. The big stories, the deep insights, and the voices that matters are still ahead. Only on Psalm TV, your window to the truth. Please don't go away.
Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride your way.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Welcome back. And now let's move straight into what's next. On international news, U.S. President Donald Trump hosted Russian President Putin in Anchorage, Alaska on August 15th, marking Putin's first visit to the United States in a decade and his first meeting with an American president since the invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Ahead of the summit, Trump warned of very serious consequences if Moscow failed to end the war. While stressing he expected at least a ceasefire, Putin received a red carpet welcome at Joint Base Meldov-Rikadon, where a B-2 bomber and F-35 jets tagged a flyover as F-22 fighters lined the tarmac, greeting Trump with "Good afternoon." Their neighbor, Putin underscored Alaska's historic ties to Russia. Talks lasted nearly 3 hours but yielded no breakthrough. Trump said they agreed on many points but offered no details, while Putin reiterated Russia's demand to address the root causes of the conflict. Despite the lack of progress, Trump described his relationship with Putin as fantastic and suggested further dialogue, while Putin proposed the next meeting take place in Moscow. On business news, Adna System Energy, in partnership with Metro Fittings Limited, has completed a 250 kilowatt-hour solar photovoltaic system at the Lagos State Multipurpose Agent Complex. Project lead Tanwa Iyayemi said each floor of the 8-story building has its own PV and battery system, making the design scalable while supporting the state's sustainability goals. The 3-year project overcame structural and safety challenges, including rooftop installations of 132 panels and strict adherence of fire resistance, wiring, and safety standards. Metro site engineer Adekunle described the work as transformative, giving him hands-on solar experience. The system has powered critical security and communication infrastructure without disrupting since deployment, with Zoglob Engineering Services confirming seamless operation. The installation highlights the growing role of clean energy in Nigeria, serving as a model for future sustainable infrastructure projects. On entertainment news, veteran actor Olusegun Akinremi, popularly known as Chief Kairan, passed away at the age of 70. The news was confirmed by movie executive and producer Seun Oloketui in an Instagram post, where he stated that Chief Kairan died on Friday morning. And on sport news, the Athletic Federation of Nigeria has named 26 athletes for the Confederations of African Athletics Region second senior championship scheduled for Monday and Tuesday in Accra, Ghana. The team, led by veteran 400-meter runner Patient Okon George, will compete in 20 track and field events under the guidance of Technical Director Gabriel Okon and Head Coach Solomon Aliyu. Nigerians will present strong relay squad, with athletes also contesting hurdles, sprints, middle distance, and field events. Paris Olympic finalist Prastinia Onogo headlines the women's long jump, while other entries over javelin, triple jump, high jump, and shot put. AFN President and CAA Region 2 Chief Tonokbok Okowa urged the team to uphold Nigerians' reputation and defend the title won last year, when the country topped the medal table with 13 gold, 4 silver, and 1 bronze. The contingent depart Lagos on Saturday. And that's where we wrap up tonight's broadcast. But before we go, a quick recap of our top stories. We brought you reports that the Nigerian Governors Forum will launch Investopedia on August 19th to attract fresh state investments, and that President Bola Tinubu has approved 16.7 billion naira for the urgent reconstruction of flood-damaged Mokwa Bridge in Niger State. We also reported that the Rivers State Electoral Commission has recognized the Okocha-led APC factions ahead of August 30th local government polls. On the international scene, we brought you the report that former U.S. President Donald Trump hosted Russian President Putin in Alaska, marking Putin's first visit to the U.S. since the Ukraine invasion, though the meeting ended without a breakthrough. In business, we reported that Adna System Energy and Metro Fittings have completed a 250 kWh solar project at a Lagos State complex, advancing clean energy solutions. For the world of entertainment, we brought you the sad news of the passing of veteran Nollywood actor Chief Kandran at the age of 70. And in sports, we reported that the Athletics Federation of Nigeria has named 26 athletes for the CAA Region 2 Senior Championship in Accra, urging them to defend Nigerians' title. And that's the news recap. Thank you for staying with us. Stay tuned for more gripping stories and timely updates right here on Psalm TV. I am Bridget James. It's been an honor having you with us tonight. From all of us in the newsroom, we wish you peace to guide you, progress to inspire you, and purpose to carry you forward. Thank you for watching and good night.
Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride